Hello, friends, and welcome to another WSIB Truth Matters with Joe Machado. I hope you're doing well today. The weather seems to be warming up a little bit. That makes me happy. Today, I'm going to talk about another topic on other things that make me happy. So you've all, for those of you who've followed along, you've heard me make reference to the WSIB Fat Cats on a number of occasions. And you probably know who I'm referring to, but I want to be clear. And the best way to be clear is to actually start to introduce some of these fat cats to you. One of the things about the WSIB is that they're this massive bureaucracy, far bigger than they should be. Particularly in the top layer, which is the executive layer. And because there's such a large organization and bureaucracy, it can be intimidating for people to know who to address and how to get things done. Beyond the frontline workers, the case managers and eligibility adjudicators and return to work specialists, those are the ones that you deal with more often. And but there's another layer, and I've dealt with them extensively over the last 30 years. And I got to learn how to play their game, and they didn't like me for that. They still don't. But I don't give a fuck what they think about me. My job is to tell the truth and provide an opinion based on my own personal views and my experiences, and that's what I'm here to do. So they have this layer, and I refer to them as the fat cats. Another thing that you've heard me refer to over the past couple of months in some of my videos was this money for audit or value for money audit. That was done by the KPMG, and they made certain recommendations. It's a tool that the government uses to identify whether or not certain programs and services are being done properly within certain crown corporations, the WSIB being one of them. But in my opinion, what the WSIB does is they take that report and extrapolate from it what they think or how they think they should do things. I'm talking about the fat cats. And then they put a little bit of a twist on it and just, do what they want, roll it out over how many years they think that needs to be done and yada, yada. But it's nothing more than just another way to fuck with injured workers. And then be able to say, well, we're implementing some of the recommendations of the value for money audit. Holy crap. So over the next little while, I'm going to humanize these people because they feel that they're insulated in their nice, shiny corner office or wherever the fuck they sit on the 20th floor on Front Street these days. And they don't really give a shit because it doesn't really affect them. They're going to get their raises and bonuses. They're going to earn their high six-figure incomes. And, they're really not accountable to anybody. I mean, it's like, what the fuck? It's easier to just go with the string than to, create ruffles. So they have this buffer between themselves and the workers and the employers, who are really the two main groups that they should be servicing. There's nobody else on the face of this fucking planet that they need to be able to service and have these fat cats create ideas to serve whatever except for employers and workers. That's why the whole system was set up. And it really doesn't take that many people to do that. Their top layer of executives, they just siphon a shitload of cash out of the system. Money that should go to injured workers, and if there are legitimate rebates or incentives, not rebates, but incentives that they can give employers to encourage them to have a good or better accident cost statement, then that's where the money should be spent. Not in these fat cats who are conspiring to serve one purpose, in my opinion, and that is their own self-existence. So they can keep sucking on the titty. And it doesn't matter how bad their decisions are. The ones, and this is the only time, and one of the very few, and you don't hear me say this very often, but this is one of those instances where I feel bad for the frontline workers, the case managers and eligibility adjudicators and return to work specialists. And don't get me wrong, I'm not giving anybody a pass here, but they're the ones that get the brunt of the backlash from injured workers and employers when they're, fighting for their rights, and sometimes can be done in a harsh way. And of course, they're human. They get affected by this, and I appreciate it. But they're the frontline ones, not the fat cats. Fat cats just pull the strings. They don't give a shit about their frontline workers or the injured worker or the employers. They don't give a shit about anything beyond ensuring that their existence is insured. So this is an organization that has, I'm going to start way at the top. The Minister of Labor, then the Board of Directors, and there's a group of those, and then the President and CEO. And then below the President and CEO, there's 8 fucking chiefs. 8 chiefs, okay? They have a chief of employer services. They have a chief financial officer. They have a chief strategy and risk officer. Strategy and risk. Strategy to screw you and avoid risking their own existence. Okay, I can see that. Chief corporate services. I don't know who they're going to say. I mean, I don't know what their role is. And technology officer, they rolled it into one. Chief operating officer. Chief governance officer, because they have to make sure that they're governing themselves properly. Chief of staff, and a chief people officer. What the fuck is that? A chief people officer. I don't know. I honestly don't know how to explain that one away. Some of these I can, because some of these are traditional roles in a typical corporate structure. Not as many of those, I would say, for sure. But chief people officer? That be like the president of a fucking fan club or something like that? Talking about a fan club. So I owned a junior hockey team for probably about the better part of 20 years. Great experience. And there was always this thing among, the hockey community, junior hockey. Well, some players, they're untouchable. Can't touch them. I never interfered, much in hockey operations or tried to influence my general manager's decision on acquiring a player or trading or whatever. You hire good people, you think you hire good people, you pay them, and you trust what they do. But there's one thing that they knew. No player is protected. You either carry your fucking weight or you're gone. Yeah, because, typically, in the playoffs, they do very well in the regular season, but in the playoffs, somehow they get a little bit more timid about what they need to do and how aggressive they need to play. The reason why I bring that example is there's a lot of people that are among these chiefs who think they're untouchable. They think they're indispensable. They think that they're going to collect their 150K or 200K or whatever the fuck they're being paid, and they got a cushion for life. And then they've got 19 VPs. 19 VPs. If you were to compare this infrastructure, this management behemoth with, let's take, for example, the Premier's office, and you looked at the infrastructure of one and the other, you'd be going, oh shit, that's an organization that is larger than the organization that's used to manage the province. It's pathetic, it's eye-opening, and it's fucking outrageous. And if you're not as outraged as I am, I don't know. I'm going to continue to talk about all the shit that they do wrong in my videos on how to get around certain things and understanding LOE and short-term calculations and long-term calculations and all this stuff like I've been doing. There's lots of that to talk about. But I'm going to bring these people to the spotlight. I'm going to yank them out of their little cushy little office where they feel like they're insulated from everything. And I'm going to put a face and a name and maybe a little bit of a backstory on them. Because you need to know. You need to know. Because you know what? The days of keeping the big fucking curtain up, where you could do whatever the fuck you want to injured workers and create poverty and cause havoc, those days are over. My friends, get ready, because the curtain is about to open. And it's going to reveal a lot of stuff that, well, stay tuned for the next one, because it's coming. And I'm going to have a lot of fun with this one. All right, friends. So that does it for today. I'll be back at it again on Friday with a brand new video. To those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. I invite you to become a subscriber. It costs nothing. Everything you hear on this channel is free. And if you need help with your WSIB claim, you can visit my company, WSIBsettlements.com. There's lots of programs and tools there to help you. And I invite you to keep coming back and share my videos with others, because there's thousands of people in this province who need help, and they're being taken advantage of by this organization. And slowly but surely, we're going to start to make a difference, because this is not sustainable, and we're not going back to the 1980s where this kind of shit was going on, and nothing's changed. They've just gotten better at how they're going to screw workers over. Always, in my opinion, my friends. And thanks for taking the time to watch this video. And until the next one, take care.